Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing well wherever you're watching. So today's video is not an unboxing. We have done those. Those are done for the month. I've got both of my boxes and I already did those videos, edited them. They're already up on the channel. This video is a book review. Not just one book, but 5. I did mention this at the end of the Wizarding Trunk unboxing that I just recently did. I'm going to give my honest review on the series, on the Court of Thorns and Roses series. This will have spoilers, so if you have not read any of the books and don't want to be spoiled, you don't want to watch this video. However, if you have read the books, stick around. If you haven't read the books, have no desire to read the books, and you don't care about spoilers, then of course stick around for that as well. But anyway, so I started reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. I want to say it was June. In June, I could not get into the first book. Could not, because it started out slow, like so slow. But the further I got into the first book, probably about midway, maybe a little bit before midway, I got to where I could not put this book down. Okay, I checked it out from the library, had to renew it 3 times because of the fact that it was slow for me and I couldn't get into it right away. Well, finally on that last renewal, I was like, I don't want to not finish this book. I've heard such good things about the whole series, and I really want to. My dog is in here, so if you hear sniffing, he's like sniffing everything. He doesn't normally come out here with me, so he's checking out everything. But anyway, I finally was able to get into it, and I just could not put it down. So I requested the next book in the series. Had to put a hold on it because it has been checked out for a while. Excuse me. So finally finished the first one, took it back about the same time the other one arrived or became available. And so I checked it out, brought it home, immediately started in on it because I wanted to see what was going to happen with Feyre and Tamlin. Because at first, I liked Tamlin. Not gonna lie, at first, I liked him. Then I read the second book, and I didn't like him so much anymore. And I really started to fall in love with Rhysand. I think it's Rhysand. I can't remember how to pronounce it. It tells you how to pronounce their names in the back of the first book. She should have continued that on. Personally, she should have continued that on with the rest of the books, because then there was new characters that came out, and like there was new characters that come out that I'm not sure how to pronounce their name, like Emesri. Probably not saying that right. She was in the last book in the series, but anyway, we'll get to that. And also forgive me because there may be parts that I forget what book it's in, and I may say, oh, this was in this book, but it was really in this book. It all just has blurred together for me into one big story. So I don't remember where one book ends and the other begins, and vice versa. You know, I just know that it is a beautiful series. I'm just in love with it. And the third book, I would have to say probably the third book would be my favorite. And I think that's so crazy that it's my favorite, just because it's not my favorite because of what happens in the war with Hybern. It's just my favorite. I don't know really why it's my favorite. I guess all of the love between Feyre and Rhysand. It's just, I don't know. It just becomes beautiful to me. And I just love it. And I will not lie to you, towards the end where he gets killed by Hybern. See, I told you, spoilers. I lost it. Like, I started bawling. I wanted to throw the book because I was so heartbroken. Not just myself, but for Feyre. I was so heartbroken for her because he's her mate, you know, and I'm sure that would just be devastating to experience. I hope I never have to experience something like that, but that would be, to me, would be so devastating. And then when all of the High Lords came together and put that kernel of light from each of them back into Rhysand and brought him back, I cried again. And then Tamlin tells Feyre to be happy. I kind of liked that part when he told her to be happy, but that to me didn't redeem him in my eyes. I still don't like him. But yeah, I cried. That would make me cry. And then after that one, you have the little novella, which was such a nice break after dealing with the reading about the war and all of that heartache and everything in that. Sorry, my dog hears other dogs barking. Shh. Oh, sorry about that. He heard the neighbor dogs outside barking, so he thought he had to bark and whine. So I had to pause it for just a second to calm him down. He's back in the other room because, yeah, he would not stop. And then he got the other dog going as well. So, yeah, they're back in there. Oh, goodness, excuse me. Where was I? Oh, yeah, the novella. That was a nice break, like I said. The troubles with Nesta, that somewhat broke my heart a little bit, but I kind of could see it happening because throughout the series where she was mentioned in the series, or where she was in the series, you know, like in the scene or whatever. Sorry about this, but she was a whole total bitch. Sorry for my language, but she was. And so I could kind of see that happening, starting to unravel with her. So, yeah. And then you get to, I believe we're the last book. It's not the last book. I found out that there's more books coming, but the last book that we have for now. I love that they did what they could to help her, and it worked, and she became better for that reason. And to learn that my suspicions about her and Cassian being mates was true, which is awesome. I love Cassian, and I love that he gave Nesta a chance and also helped her and worked with her and other things with her. And sorry, I just had a message from the mechanic that's fixing my car. Anyway, and then finding out that Feyre and Rhysand were going to have a baby, and then the fear where he was going to be born with wings and that Feyre could die, and then remembering the bargain that they made together as a couple, as a, as mates, to die together. Yeah, that was awful. When they were, when I was reminded of it, but then they told their family about that bargain that they had made with each other. And then the scary thing when the three girls, Nesta and Gwen and Esmery, I don't know that I'm saying that right. I don't know how to say her name. But when they were kidnapped and basically forced into the blood rite, I was so rooting for them the whole time because I knew that they could do it. And I'm so glad that the two of them, of course, Nesta stayed behind to let them get up there and win and fight off the oncoming Illyrians. I'm saying a lot, sorry. I'm also still thinking. But yeah, and then what she did for Feyre at the end saved her life, saved her sister's life, and also the baby, Nyx, her nephew. So she lost a lot of her power to do that, but it was a sacrifice that she made, and that was, to me, that was just love, pure love right there, to sacrifice something for someone else that you love, knowing that you could have it all. You could have the fame, you could have the power, and she didn't want that for herself, and she wanted her family. And I love that she finally realized that that's what she wanted. And I do love that one part that she tells Cassian towards the end, where when the cauldron was taking back her power, which, by the way, I should probably go back and say that how Nesta and Elaine, which is the other sister, I didn't even mention her because she really didn't stick out to me. She really didn't have a whole lot of plot with her, I guess. I'm hoping the next books that come out has more about Elaine in them. But yeah, she really just wasn't as much a part of books as I feel Nesta was. But they were both made into high fae. They were thrown into what they called the cauldron, and the cauldron gave them, the cauldron gave Elaine powers. Nesta stole hers from the cauldron, more than what the cauldron was going to give her. So, of course, that's the bargain that she made with the cauldron at the end, to give back everything that she took from the cauldron to help save her sister and brother-in-law and nephew. So, again, it was beautiful. Her anger turned around for the better, I think. So, but yeah, I mean, I know I'm leaving a lot out because, like I said, I don't want to spoil the entire series for someone if someone is watching and didn't really care about spoilers but wants to know if the series is something that they would be interested in. I forgot to mention that this is, they are high fae, like fairies, if you don't know what fae is. But like I said, Nesta and Elaine and Feyre, they all start out as mortal humans. The first book is where Feyre is taken, and I can't remember if she gets turned in the first or the second book. I think it's the second book where she gets turned to Fae, and that's to save her life because she's dying or basically dead. And that broke my heart. That broke my heart for some stupid reason. That broke my heart for Tamlin before it did Rhysand, because I didn't know at that moment that Rhysand was helping her because he loved her, because they were mates. So that broke my heart for Tamlin, which now that I look back on it was so dumb because he is such a jerk. I'm sorry, I don't like him. But and then in the next, I want to say the third book is where Elaine and Nesta are forced into the cauldron by the King of Hybern, and that's how they become made into Fae. And that's before the big war towards the end of that book. The war that puts me into an absolute hot mess of tears. So, I can't think of anything else that I want to say or not say. Like I said, I don't want to reveal everything. Just in case there is someone watching this that, like I said, wants to read the series. But I do highly recommend it if you are into fantasy romance. They are spicy. They're not like super crazy spicy, not like every other chapter is a sex scene or anything like that, but they are spicy. I call them spicy, but some people may not call them spicy just because of there's not as much of the adult scenes in the books, I should say. But yeah, I highly recommend the series if you like fantasy, fae, any of that. I do not recommend anyone under the age of, I want to say maybe 15, 14. I think 16 is probably questionable, just depending on maturity, but I think 17 and 18 on up, obviously, would be fine reading these books. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend anybody 14 or younger to read these books. And 15, like I said, 15 and 16 is questionable. But again, that's up to them, parents, whoever. But yeah, that's just my recommendation. Yeah, I give the series, so far, I give it 4.5 stars, just because I don't like Tamlin. That's the only reason I give it 4.5. But yeah, you gotta have a dumb guy in there, like a dumb one, not as in just a dumb guy. I'm talking like arrogant and rude so in order for the other main character to see what love really is. So, but that's all I'm going to share. Again, I recommend it. Have you read it? If you have, comment below. Let me know what you thought of the series. Are you currently reading it? Did I spoil anything for you? If so, I'm sorry. I did give you a heads up, and I will also put it in the description or in the title that there is spoilers, so that way you are aware that there are spoilers. So, do you want to read the book or want to read the books? Are you wanting to get into the series but wasn't too sure about it? Did this help you make that decision? I don't know. This will also determine whether or not I continue to do book reviews, I guess. I'll probably do a couple more. I've got a couple more books to read. Of course, since I'm done with the series for right now, I'm going to read some single books for just a little bit. And then I am wanting to start the Throne of Glass series by the same author. But I want to break away from the Court of Thorns and Roses series a little bit first before I do that, so that I don't get characters mixed in, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, that's all I've got for today's video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure if you liked it, give it a big thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you will not miss another video. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day, night, week, whenever you're watching. Bye-bye.